Yeah, how do you introduce yourself? You're in an elevator, what do you do? What do you do? That kind of thing. This is what I do. In other words, it's actually kind of an approach, isn't it? One of the things that we, in the work that the team put together was, we need to have a common approach that whether you are a 2-week agent or whether you're a 20-year agent, that would resonate with the middle market consumer that answers this question: what do we do? And what we have come up with is what we call the 3 pillars of financial security. So what this basically says is, if you're talking to somebody and you're describing, let me tell you a little bit about what we do for families just like yours. We help families protect the things that's most important to them. We help families accumulate and save for retirement. And then we also help them make great decisions at retirement time so that the money that they've worked so hard to save goes to where and to who exactly the way they want it to go. That's what we do for families. So we're not just insurance, we're not just savings, we actually address 3 huge concerns to the middle market consumer. Now, that's what we do. How do we do that? We do that by specifically talking about topics that probably would interest you. In other words, when we're talking about protecting the things that's most important to you, we're talking about if something would happen to you, the people that you most care about, that their lifestyle stays the same or the way that you want it to be. What we're talking about is the single largest purchase you'll probably make in your entire life. Would you like it to be paid for in the event that you pass on early, become disabled, or here's a great thought, how about even paying it off early to save thousands and thousands of dollars of interest? What do we call those 2 things I just described? Sales concepts. What you have here in the 3 pillars of success, or financial security, excuse me, are the sales concepts listed within the 3 pillars. Under the accumulation pillar, obviously we have retirement needs. Let me help you, show you a way that you can accumulate the dollars you need for the retirement you're dreaming of. Ensuring a better tomorrow. A lot of the people that I deal with, although they have a great desire to retire, they also have other concerns that they want to address also. And we have ways that we can do that using one instrument. Under the post-retirement solution pillar, you can see retirement income. Would you like to have a greater income at retirement that is contractually guaranteed? Would you like to maximize or increase your retirement dollars? And then finally, who do you want, what charity, what individual, do you want the things that you worked hard to build up, who do you want it to go to? And would you like to leverage that so that it's even a more impactful gift to either the charity or to the loved one? So you could see the wealth transfer sales concept, you could see the retirement income. What type of product would we talk to them about in retirement income? SPIA. What about wealth transfer? What's one of the products we would talk about? Yeah, retirement needs. What would we talk to them about? Mutual funds, right? Some variable products and some maybe some UL, but specifically ensuring a better tomorrow would use what product? Yes. And then mortgage needs could be term, it could be a variety of different products, and of course survivor needs could be practically any of the life products that we have. Does this make sense to you? Okay, this is our starting point. This is the foundation piece. You'll see in the process that we're putting into our sales process that this is like what we build things on. What we're going to do now is we're going to talk about a sales kit to help support this, but I don't want to do it. What I'd like to do is to bring somebody up here to help me, and you are in for a treat, because what we have is a young man who, after spending 6 years in the military, came to our company in 2006, I believe 2006. This young man has served our organization as a rep, as a sales manager, as an FMC, and recently was appointed as a DSM. Here's what's unique about him. When Quantum Leap rolled out in Wave 1, he was a sales manager within the organization. So he lived the installation. Then we promoted him to FMC and made him a coach. And then he lived coaching other districts, the process, the tools, the week in the life of Quantum Leap. And then finally, we had the opportunity to promote him into Columbus North. And now he is running an office that, and from every report that I get and from talking to Gene, that there has been an immediate impact by having this young man coming into that office and saying, this works, we're going to do this, and we're going to start right now. So if you would help me welcome Jared Jenkins, who is from the Columbus North District.
Thank you.
I got you.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
Okay. Okay, guys, they're going to start passing out right now a sales kit to everybody. While they're passing this out, he talked about a couple different areas. I'll sit exactly where you guys are sitting in February this year.
You got it.
And what was best is there's three different things. I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. If you really want to take this thing and you really want to run it and you want to own this, there's three basic things that you're going to need to do over the next 10 weeks that is so crucial and vital to our success as a company, as individuals, and so on and so on. The first thing is ownership. The best thing that you can do is own this. Own this. When you guys roll this out, you have got to own it. You cannot go back and say, okay, we're doing this again and we're going to roll this out and this is what they want us to do. This is what you want them to do. If you want to be successful, if you want them to respect you and follow you, you have to own this process. Over the next 2.5 days, you're going to learn from A to Z, everything from the beginning to our values presentation, our sales kit, our targeting prospecting system, why we're doing what we're doing, but you got to own it. You got to be on board. You have got, it's the most crucial. I can't even imagine not being on board. Second thing is leadership. And when I say leadership, you have to lead this because what's going to happen is you're going to have a rollout and everybody's going to be looking at you thinking, God, what are we doing? And the only thing that they're focused on is, all right, now I got to be here 3 days a week and I've got to do this and I got to do that. Let's say you own it and you're rolling it out. Then they're going to watch you. You got to lead. You have to lead people. I can't stress that enough. You have to lead them. You have to walk the walk, talk the talk. Not do as I say and not as I do. You have got to do it because after about a week, after 2 or 3 weeks, all this excitement's going to be pushing through your districts. They're going to watch you. They're going to sit back because some people immediately, like Brian said, is going to be in denial. But if you got those individuals say, you know what, I want to change. I know it's for the better. I want to make more money. I did not come here to make $25,000, $30,000 a year. You're going to have them. Then you're going to have the ones that kind of sit back and they just watch. They don't say anything. They're going to be compliant right off the bat. They're going to come in. They're going to do their phone session, but they're going to watch you guys. You have got to lead them. You've got to do the right thing. Third thing is, and it's the most crucial part of my three-step success process is what I'll call it, leadership courage. And what I mean by leadership courage is when you lead people and you're doing the right thing, you're holding them accountable. People fail in an organization because the leader fails them. I always believe that, and it's always the truth. No matter how hard you want to look into yourself, that you will find that. Leadership courage is not just leading. It's not just getting up and playing music during phone sessions. Leadership courage is holding people accountable. Do not let them leave on Friday until they're ready for next week. I sit here in February, and the biggest thing that I took was Brian Dunn talked about bleeding to death. You guys heard him today, and I was kind of shocked a little bit. I was like, this is serious. We're talking about bleeding to death. And I kind of put it in terms of, you think about this. On Friday, you got an agent that comes in, and you'll no longer have to do this, but you'll have an agent come in and say, boss, I got six appointments, I got one closed, but hey, by Monday morning, I'll be at 16-4, or I'll be at 12-4. You can bet. Guys, courage is say, you know what? No, you're not. Let's stay in. Let's dig in. Let's get this done. That's leadership courage. Not letting them fail. Not letting them leave on a Friday until you actually are ready for the next week. Because guess what they're doing? They're bleeding to death. You're bleeding to death. We're all bleeding to death. Because if you let them go home, if you go home not being prepared for the next week, and like Gene said, you got the 60-minute syndrome, you're bleeding. Sunday night, you're bleeding. Look down at yourself because you're bleeding. I mean, you can't put it any more blunt. You are bleeding. There's two types of leadership. You got a direct approach. Because a lot of you guys, and what you don't need to do, is you got the week in a life today, and you went and said, got him. Can't wait to get back, because I got an agent don't want to come to work ever. I can't wait to get back and just start counseling.